Alrighty, welcome in to another sports podcast, guys. This week we've got Week 15 NFL Power Rankings and Games. That is right, we are 17 episodes into my inaugural season. I am plugging along, having a good time, guys. Thanks for stopping by here. Appreciate it. I hope you guys are enjoying this content. So, Week 15 NFL Power Rankings and Games. You know exactly what we do here, guys. Of course, my name is Big Nate, aka Always Triggered. I'm going to go ahead and take you through my power rankings. I do it in my unique 3-segment style. We go 32 to 1. It finishes with my top 10. Got the Week 15 game slate here for you so you can see which games are coming this week. It is a little different this week. And then we go top 5 games of the week. You know what games are on my radar. All right, let's go ahead and start where we always started, guys. The basement. So at 32, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars, 31, Detroit Lions, 30, Houston Texans, 29, New York Jets, 28, Carolina Panthers, 27 is the New York Giants, 26, Chicago Bears, 25, the New Orleans Saints, 24, Seattle Seahawks, 23, Las Vegas Raiders, 22, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the 21 ranked team, Atlanta Falcons. Go ahead and throw it over to my article view here for you guys. And my article, by the way, guys, where you can read every team's blurb is in the description below. You can see a lot more into my power rankings there on my article. So if you want to go ahead and give that a click, give it a read, I'd appreciate it. Notable things to talk about here in the basement. Let's take a look here. So teams 28 to 32, Panthers, Jets, Texans, Lions, Jaguars. All those teams lost this week, and all those teams stay exactly where they are in my power rankings there at the bottom. Not really much to be said here about the basement. The teams that are at the top of the basement, like your Falcons, your Steelers, your Seahawks, the Saints, these are teams that really need to make a push to try to get into the playoffs. It's going to be a long haul for any of these teams to get in, but if they can string together a winning streak, anything's possible. So these teams looking to push themselves into the fringe. I just don't see it with a lot of these teams. You look at the team like the Saints, they have a quarterback issue. You look at a team like the Hawks, they have a consistency issue. Safe to say any team that's down below average in the NFL definitely has consistency issues. Let's go ahead and move it on over to the fringe. This is getting juicy, guys. We're getting close to the end of the year. So on the fringe, team 20, Philadelphia Eagles, 19, Washington Football Team, 18 is the Cleveland Browns, 17 is the Miami Dolphins, 16, Denver Broncos, 15, Minnesota Vikings, 14, San Francisco 49ers, 13 is the Cincinnati Bengals, 12, the Indianapolis Colts, and team 11, the Baltimore Ravens. That's right, the Ravens have left top 10. Let's go ahead and flip it over to my article view there for you. We can start with those Ravens, moving down 5 spots, jumping out of the top 10. That's definitely alarming. Injuries is a story for the 21 Ravens, and now it's gotten to Lamar. Tough to see Lamar's ankle injury there, and he missed almost the entire game last week. They tried to make a comeback there toward the end, couldn't pull it off, and they're at 8-5. They're still leading the division, the Ravens are, but things are going to get tight here, and they got Huntley at the quarterback. And we all know what happens when you have a backup quarterback that sends you plummeting in my rankings typically. Ravens still a very strong team, so impressed to see them at 11 with all the injuries they've had. Washington, another team we can talk about here in the fringe. We could talk about the NFC East in the fringe. We always talk about the NFC East every single week. The Washington Football Team lost to the Dallas Cowboys. They were a little ravaged by injuries and COVID, and they ended up missing a whole bunch of players there for this game. A lot of COVID related players missing this week. If you're not paying attention, the NFL this week is going to feature a lot of players missing action due to the virus. The Philadelphia Eagles right behind Washington there at team 20. These two teams will be matching up with each other, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit later. But they're very, very close, neck and neck, both sitting at 6 and 7. So we're gearing up for a good finish here. Minnesota Vikings. They are Jekyll and Hyde for sure. The one thing you can count on with the Minnesota Vikings is they're going to be in every single football game that they're playing this year. They play up or down to their opponent, and when they do have all their pieces working, they look pretty damn good. So 6 and 7, making their way back up here in my rankings. Guys, these teams, it's do or die time. Losses for any of these fringe teams are going to be extremely painful. Wins, quite the opposite, extremely rejoiceful. So we shall see how these teams stack up here as we make the push toward the back quarter of the season. Let's go ahead and jump into my top 10, guys. At number 10, we have the Buffalo Bills. So the Buffalo Bills are not playing complimentary football at all. They can't seem to stop the power run game, and they can't seem to have any kind of a run game. Their run game basically is Josh Allen, and he is hurt. Now, the good news for the Buffalo Bills is their schedule toward the end of the year here is extremely soft. So that could be the catalyst that they need to put together a few wins, play some of their best football, get that confidence up, and enter the playoffs hot. Number 9, the LA Chargers. So the LA Chargers, they're a young team and they are inconsistent. When they are turned on, though, they look good. Justin Herbert, I'm a huge fan of his. He's got a tremendous arm. The one thing that does concern me with the Chargers, their defense can't develop a lot of pressure against the quarterback. And for those reasons, I do feel it could hinder them come playoff time. But if they're playing their best ball, they can be a problem for anybody. Number 8, the LA Rams. I thought the Rams defense would get it together. I had a strong suspicion the Rams defense would get it together after weeks of giving up about 25 to 28 points a week. Big win for them. They can still win the division now by splitting with the Cardinals, each team winning in the other's house. That was a phenomenal win for the Rams. So with that being said, the race for the NFC West is going to be a good one to watch. Next at number 7, we have the Tennessee Titans. I think people are still disrespecting the Titans. They got Julio Jones back last week, and I'll tell you something, watching it on tape, they looked completely different. Their offense much more alive than I saw them in previous weeks. If the teams don't change in their seeding, the interesting thing is that the Tennessee Titans will be playing the Buffalo Bills, and they'll be hosting the Bills. And seeing how these two teams are going in opposite directions, the Titans seem to be getting healthier, the Bills seem to be going downhill. I would imagine that game would be won by the Titans. Number 6, the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys, surprisingly, their defensive unit has been their better unit as of late. Their offense isn't clicking. They've got some injuries on the line, like Tyron Smith. They've got Tony Pollard, who's hurt. They had some issues with their receivers, but that's getting better now. The Dallas Cowboys still a very strong team. I think they're well-rounded. When they are playing at their best, they're an extremely powerful team, and they should win the NFC East. Number 5, the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals could have put the clamps down on their division by beating the Rams here this last week. Of course, they came up short. D-Hop not only dropped a ball in this game, but left with an injury. That is concerning. I hope the Cardinals didn't peak too early. My fear is maybe they did, and if that's the case, maybe they don't get back up any higher than 5. Now, they are still 10-3, so they can, if they win their games, still finish with the top seed in the NFC, but they're going to need a little bit of help. Number 4, the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs are just like the Cowboys. Their defensive unit as of late has been the better unit. And I think they are playing their best ball as of the entire 2021 season at this time. But they have so much room to improve, and I think they can improve. And I think the Chiefs can get even more dangerous than they are now. So right now they sit at 4. The Chiefs are looking to make a huge run here. Number 3, Green Bay. The Pack right now, they sit at the number 1 team in the NFC. I am concerned with their special teams. I think they're ranked dead last. They're really bad. They gave up a bunch of return yardage in the last game against the Bears. They are playing some of their best ball on defense. And I am a little concerned about Aaron Rodgers' toe injury. He did say he took a step back in that last game. Next up, number 2, the New England Patriots. The best team in the AFC had their bye week. Their defense, in my opinion, is the best in the NFL. I think Bill Belichick, with this late bye week, he's going to have them ready to make a deep run here. I'll be worried if I'm anyone else in the AFC of the Patriots. And the number 1 best team in the NFL, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have the best record in the NFL and the best player to ever play in the NFL. And I have a hard time picking against that. The Buccaneers are really all or nothing. They're going for 2 in a row, and it's hard not to pick Tom Brady in that situation either. I think they're going to be pretty much planted at the number 1 spot if they continue to win as we head toward the playoffs. All right, there you have it. Those are my top 10 teams, guys. Let's go ahead and get you right into that Week 15 game slate. Guys, remember I was telling you Week 15 a little different. We are now officially done with bye weeks in the NFL. All teams are going to be playing here for weeks 15, 16, 17, and 18. And we are now incorporating Saturday games into the mix. So I'll go ahead and get you started here on Thursday, as I always do. That Thursday night football game at 8:20 is the Kansas City Chiefs at the LA Chargers. On Saturday, 4:30, you have the Vegas Raiders at Cleveland Browns, and at 8:20, you have the New England Patriots at Indianapolis Colts. Sunday, the 1 p.m. slate, you've got Carolina at Buffalo, Arizona at Detroit, the Jets at Miami, Dallas at New York, Washington at Philly, Tennessee at Pittsburgh, and Houston at Jacksonville. Got a pair of 405 games there. Cincinnati at Denver, Atlanta at San Francisco. 425 sees the Seattle Seahawks playing the Rams and the Green Bay Packers playing Baltimore. 820, the Sunday night game, you have New Orleans and Tampa Bay. And the Monday night game, you have Minnesota and Chicago. I'll go ahead and leave those up here for an extra second for you so you guys can take a peek at them. We'll go ahead and move right on over to my top 5 games for Week 15. At number 5, the Broncos and Bengals. The Broncos hosting the Bengals here this weekend, both 7-6 teams. So neither of these teams are currently leading their division. However, the Bengals could, and the Broncos are hosting this game. So I do see this game as being extremely competitive, definitely going to help shape the AFC playoff picture. Number 4, Packers and Ravens. Anytime you have a pair of teams that are high up in my ranking facing off, they're going to show up here on my list. I like this game, even with the injury concerns. Both quarterbacks right now injured in jeopardy of maybe not starting that game. We could see Love versus Huntley in that game. I do know one thing. It's going to be good, no matter who's at quarterback for either of these teams. Number 3, Washington and Philadelphia. So 2 teams that are 6-7, second place in the NFC East. It's going to catch my eye. Definitely interested in seeing who's going to win that game. Should be a very good football game. Number 2, Patriots and Colts. That's a Saturday night game for you guys. I really, really like this one. Saturday night's going to be popping. Number 1, the best game of the week. You know it. Chiefs and Chargers, Thursday night. That's coming at us quick here. A very, very good game. 2 AFC West teams. Could the Chargers possibly sweep the Chiefs? That could definitely happen. All right, and those are my top 5 games of the week. And as always, guys, I do want to thank you for watching. Each and every one of you guys are absolutely the best, especially my friends and family. You guys that click the like, subscribe, comment below. Can't thank you enough. Thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays to you guys, by the way. I'm going to keep coming at you with these videos. Peace.